Hey guys, it's the end of the year and I just want to give you a roundup of all my favorite tools that I've used this year in my own personal creations. So I'm going to be selecting my favorite plugin in 10 categories, and hopefully this will help you choose tools for your arsenal. By the way, my name is Stranger. If you want to improve your music production and sound design, especially with dance music and drum and bass, then this channel is for you. Now, I have to admit, I've never been the plugin connoisseur. I've always been about what you make and do with the tool. So this won't contain the latest plugins out there. It's more what I find is tried and true and what I enjoy using for time. But comment down below and let me know what is your favorite plugin in each category. All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, number one, my favorite EQ in 2021 has to be FabFilter's Pro Q3. Now, this isn't exactly new. I just picked it up earlier this year when I was doing the mastering video. I got the entire mastering bundle. I just really like using this EQ. It's very reliable, easy to use, and has everything that you need in an EQ. It sounds very clean and precise. It gets the job done. What I really like is that they have a number of different slopes that you can get pretty steep, from 96 to brick wall. So you really need to cut those frequencies. This is very useful. As well, you can use more softer EQ slopes. Once again, it just sounds very clean and precise. It's great for a number of applications, from EQing breakbeats, cleaning up vocals, as well as adjusting your mixes and mastering. What's really cool about FabFilter Pro Q3 is that there is a dynamic mode. So you can introduce almost like multi-band compression with this mode, and you can set a threshold and identify certain frequencies that you want to control. Not to mention, this is a great EQ for amens. So this is an awesome, clean, and powerful tool, FabFilter's Pro Q3. All right, number two, my favorite compressor is FabFilter's Pro C2. Since I got the mastering bundle, I've been using this compressor a lot. I've never been that picky with compressors. I know there's thousands of different compressors out there. For me, this gets the job done. What I look for in a good compressor is a very quick response time, especially when you want to control those hard transients. This is very helpful when you want to sculpt, for example, an amen break, or if you want to control those peaks in a mix or in a master. What I really like is there's different modes here. So you have clean, classic, optal, mastering modes, punch and pumping modes. So you get almost a multitude of different compressors all in one. And it sounds great. What's also very handy with Pro C2 is there's this sidechain mode. And sidechain mode actually has a filter. So you can, for example, filter out all the bottom end so that that doesn't trigger the compressor. So this is very handy when you want to control your mix or your master. You don't want those sub basses to get in the way when you're compressing your track. So Pro C2. Number three, my favorite clipper is G-Clip. This is a free VST. And by the way, I'll leave a link down below for all the plugins today. For me, this just gets the job done. I know there's a number of different clippers out there, but I just like how this sounds. It has that nice gritty sound. So if you really want to thrash that amen break, if you want to get that brick wall sound, especially when you're designing snare or drum sounds, this is very useful. All right, number four, my favorite delay in 2021 has to be Arteria's Tape 201. This is an analog emulation and they've done a great job. It sounds super warm, super analog, and it has all the functions that you need in a delay plugin. This sounds very close to what you would hear in an old dub reggae track, you know, when they dub out those guitars or vocals. It sounds very warm. It has a bit of that analog saturation when you push the signal. Super dope sounding delay. So this is a very fun delay to play with. There's 3 different preamp modes here for that analog sound. And you push that drive, this is when you get that kind of saturation on the delay signal. I find mode 1 here sounds nice and gritty. You can also filter the signal here with the bass and treble knob. So very nice sounding delay. Arteria's Delay Tape 201. Number 5, my favorite reverb this year. I'm going back to Valhalla's Vintage Verb. I know previous years I've used Arteria's Rev Intensity, but this year I've gone back to using Valhalla Vintage Verb. It's tried and true and reliable. I just like how it sounds clean, lush, and musical. And it's very easy to use. This is a great reverb for vocals and also musical sounds such as stabs. It just gets the job done and it sounds very sweet. So Valhalla Vintage Verb. All right, number 6. My favorite synth this year has to be Vital. You've seen me use it throughout this year and I love it for its nice and gritty sound. If you're used to Serum, then you'll have no problem moving on to Vital. It is a very similar synth. I think that Vital picks up where Serum left off and it has a bunch of additional features. One great thing about Vital is that instead of 2 oscillators, you have 3 oscillators. So this gives you a lot of different sound design capabilities. Not to mention, instead of 1 filter in Serum, you have 2 filters here. Again, more sound designing capabilities. Its effects section sounds great. The distortion just sounds nice and grimy and gritty. It has tons of modulation options here to create some really crazy and dynamic sound. It has tons of different nice wave tables. The text to speech mode is very cool, where you can convert your speech text to a wave table. So that's very handy if you want to convert a word to a bass sound. One thing about Vital is the sweet spots for the parameters are a little bit different to Serum. So if you're used to using Serum, you'll have to play with Vital a little bit until you find those nice sweet spots on each parameter. But once you find them, you're good. The sound is dirty and grimy, and this is great for bass sounds as well as lush pads. So this is my favorite synth in 2021, and one additional great benefit of this is that there is no barrier to entry here. There's different tiers which you can grab this synth if you want to pay for it, but if you can't afford it, there's a free version of this which is fully functional. So I really recommend you guys grab this, and I'll leave a link down below for all the plugins I'm talking about today. And while we're talking about Vital, I might as well do a little plug here. We have a preset pack called Wubs and Wobbles, which gives you some awesome bass sounds for drum and bass, dubstep, and even bass line. So if you're looking for some gritty bass, check out Wubs and Wobbles. I'll have a link down below. So Vital is my synth for 2021. All right, number 7, one of my favorite categories, distortion. And in 2021, my favorite distortion has been Minimal Audio's Rift. They've just done a great job with the design of this distortion. What's unique with this distortion plugin is their bipolar mode. So what this means is you can apply a completely different distortion shape on the positive and negative sections of your waveform. This allows for some really crazy sound design capabilities. So I have an 808 here. So it sounds super dirty. Not to mention, once you activate the filter section as well as the feedback and LFO sections, this will give you amazing sound design capabilities. Their user presets are great. It's just a gritty sounding distortion plugin. Super fun. Endless hours of sound design with this plugin. Check it out. It's Minimal Audio's Rift. All right, number 8. My favorite sample site has to be Splice. It's just a great starting point when you need to find a sample to build a track over, or you're just missing that one sound. You can almost always find something on Splice. The only thing about Splice is that it is so popular and some of the sounds may have been overused. So you have to be careful and look for some of the more obscure sounds on the site. What's great is it has samples for pretty much every genre, and they have a great filtering and search functionality to find a sample that you want.
Come in again, DJ, run it. Come in again, DJ. Come in again, DJ, run it. Come in again, DJ. Come in again,
All right, number 9. My favorite limiter this year has to be Isotope's Ozone 9's Maximizer. It's just a very modern sounding limiter, and you can push the signal pretty loud without getting any audible clipping or distortion. It's a very clean sounding limiter. It gets the job done. What's great about this limiter is there's a number of different modes to control the transients. And comment down below and let me know which mode do you like to use the most. Once again, it's a very clean sounding and warm sounding limiter. It's Ozone 9's Maximizer. All right, finally, number 10, my favorite miscellaneous tool this year. And actually, I have a tie. I have 2 here. The first one is Devious Machine's Duck. This is a very handy tool when you want to control, for example, or duck a certain sound. For example, I have a tambourine here, and I may want to duck it every time the kick and snare hits. So you can manually adjust the volume with duck. So this gives you very intelligent control in terms of ducking if you want to duck certain sounds. Also, this is maybe a cleaner way instead of using sidechain compression to achieve the same result. So, very great tool to play with. And then the other one, which is a very useful tool, is Mixed in Keys Studio Edition. This is a great tool when you're working with a sample or you may be playing some notes, then you have no idea what key you're on. So this is a great way to detect your sample or your entire track to look for the key that the track is playing. And you can see the song is played in F minor. So now there's no more guessing. You can identify the key or the scale, and then you can continue writing your track. It's a very handy tool. So now that you know my top 10 plugins in 2021, let's hear the track that we made with all these tools. Banger. Alright, so there you have it. Those are my top plugins in each of my categories, and hopefully that will help you out in deciding what you want to use in your creations. Once again, it's not really about the tool, but what you make and how you use the tool. Sometimes you can get great results with stock plugins or even free plugins. So don't feel you need to buy or pay for all the latest plugins out there. Once again, my name is Stranger. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. All that helps my channel grow. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, keep practicing, and I'll see you at the next video. If you want to support, we got a new preset pack out with some big bass sounds. It's called Wubs and Wobbles. And you can check it out in the link below. And while you're at it, you can check out my other products as well. But if you're not ready to buy yet, remember you can download these products for free, also down in the link below.